Hey, my name is Steve, and last week I generated 115 expert advisors. I'm using for MT5, but you can also generate the same for MT4. And this was using EA Studios. And today I'm going to go through the expert advisors, show you how I actually choose the best expert advisors that were generated out of the 115, because we don't want to use all of these on a trading strategy. It's just too many for starters. We only want to take the best, maybe 5 or 10 perhaps of the best ones to use for trading strategies. And I want to actually show you how to create a portfolio where you combine maybe 5 strategies or 10 strategies together into one expert advisor, so that you don't have to have like 10 charts open at the same time with one expert advisor on each one. You can just load one chart, and for this one I'm using Euro USD, so I can do this with one Euro USD chart. We can do back tests on the strategy tester to see how it performs, and then we can put it on a chart like a demo for starters. We want to see it trading for maybe a month or two before we actually start using live funds. Also, these expert advisors can be used for prop firm challenges, and one of the things that prop firms are very specific about, your strategy is not allowed to be a copy of someone else. So you and multiple other people cannot place this exact same trades at the same time. They need to be unique. And because these expert advisors were generated ourselves on EA Studios, it's actually a custom EA or expert advisor. So the first thing we want to do is have a look at the chart. So have a look at the EA Studios website and load up the collection for starters. And I'm going to keep it simple and just do the M5 EAs first. So we only had 9 in the collection, but let's load them. And so when I did the import, there's some rules in here which actually filter out duplicate correlations. So we've only got actually 7 EAs out of the 9 that we started with, but that's okay. What we're going to do is look at the in sample and out of sample that I used to create these, and I actually did this with 50% in sample and 50% out of sample. And the sorting I'm doing here is the highest profit factor. So we can see here on this first one, we've had over 100 trades, so that was one of my criteria, minimum of 100 trades and the highest profit factor, and also looking at the R squared as well, trying to get that number high. I think I set a minimum of about 70 for the R squared. But let's look at the first one. We can see here that this almost looks perfect, and that's in the in sample and out of sample back test when this EA was generated. So if we click on this one, we can have a look at the actual indicators used. I did actually specify when generating these EAs last week that I only wanted to use 3 indicators for the entry, and that was RSI, moving average crossover, and MACD. So all of these are based on those 3 indicators. And simple rules here for this one is fast moving A crosses the slow moving moving average. MACD line crosses the 0 line down, and that's for the long entry, and the short entry is the opposite. The fast moving average crosses the slow moving average, and the MACD line crosses the 0 upward line. We can see here where those actually occur. So we can see here we've got a crossover of the moving average, and where the MACD line goes above the 0 line, and that is our entry point. So we want to have a look at the the actual line here to see if we can see anything that looks bad that we want to avoid. So we can see here that there's 2 expert advisors that did okay in sample but did really bad out of sample. So I'm actually going to delete these straight away from the portfolio, and the others I'm going to keep in. And there's a couple of ways to create the portfolio here. The first one is just add to the portfolio, and then when we have a look at the portfolio we get a new set of stats. We can hit calculate again, although it's already been done when we added them. We want to look at, okay, net profit $1,000. This is 0.01, the smallest lot size that we can do, and the maximum drawdown was 0.49%. We've got let's see, profit factor 2.18, and R squared is 94. So to me this looks like it is pretty close to a perfect expert advisor. The next thing we're going to do is just download this portfolio file, and then we're going to load this one up in MT5 and do a strategy test on it just to see how it actually stacks up compared to what we see in EA Studios. We've downloaded the MQ5 file. We want to copy that and move it over to our MetaTrader, and I'm using Alpari. I've actually created a folder called Portfolio, so I'm going to drop that one in here. We've got some other EAs that I've been testing on gold, but let's just try this one for starters with Euro US dollar on the M5 chart. Okay, we've loaded. Now we go to the portfolios folder and we want to look for our EA, and here it is. Now we can actually have a look at the code on this if you like as well. So we can see here that we've got lot size we're testing with is 0.01. We can actually set some rules for this as well in regard to news. I actually have enabled already the high news filter, but instead of no trading 2 minutes before, I'm going to make that 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. Just hit compile on that one, and disregard these warnings on here. That doesn't affect how it's performing. It's just saying that there's going to be a change in the actual coding in relation to the news coming up in the near future. So some feature has changed and we will need to make a modification at some point in the future. So we can see here we've actually got the code. We do have the indicator settings. Let's see. First of all, I will show you one thing. We can actually set restrictions on here, like maximum spread. We can also have a maximum lot size open at one time. We can have a maximum daily loss, maximum daily drawdown in percent. So these are handy for prop firm challenges. We can have equity protection as well. We can have like a minimum equity and close out for a total balance. We can also specify what days of the week we trade. So just using the defaults at the moment. And looking at the indicators that we're actually using, just down the page a little, we can actually see all of the strategies here listed together. When I get down to them, it's down the page a little. And don't worry if you don't understand all of this code. You don't need to do any of this coding yourself. It's all done for you. The only thing I do is just made a small change to the default settings. And here's the actual indicator settings. Okay, so this is the first. This one is the second. You can see here they're all grouped. So if you wanted to, you could actually go in and look at each particular strategy. And you know, this is part of setting the signal up. So all of this is done automatically, nothing that we need to do. So we actually have here one expert advisor, which is a combination of 4, and we've made it into a portfolio. So the next thing we do is to load up the strategy tester. Okay, we make sure we've got the right symbol. So we've got expert advisor is Euro USD on the M5 chart. We have all of that here. If we do a custom time frame, let's just say from beginning of this year, perhaps, so January 2025 up to now, and we've got the inputs. Nothing that we really need to change here. We've got the change in the settings before high news and 15 minutes after, so no trading at that time. And we can now have a look at the strategy and see how it turned out. We can then do an optimization and see if we can actually improve it. Okay, so this is a test just for this year, and that actually turned out pretty good. If we have a look at the back test results, the profit factor we got was only 1.71, so not as high as what we were expecting or what we actually saw from the website. Let's see, we had on here profit factor 2.18. So this is the difference between brokers' data as well. So this is using our pari data, so it is slightly different. And there is a way to actually customize this expert advisor to actually work better with the software or the trading broker that I am using. So first of all, let's check the results, see how we're going. So winning trades 84%, losing trades 15, maximum consecutive wins is 35, maximum consecutive losses is 3, and average profit in trade is $3, average losing trade is 10. So the losing trades are actually higher, but the win rate is high, so that sort of makes up for it. The average consecutive wins is 7, average consecutive loss is 1. So next thing we can do is actually have a look at a visualization of this one, and we can see when it actually opens and closes the trades. So this test I'm doing a 10k account, so because the drawdown was only about 0.5%, we could have done this on a $1,000 account or even smaller and still not have a lot of drawdown. So we can see here that it is working perfectly. It's opening multiple trades each day, which is fine because the wins are actually small. We want to have a bunch of small wins if we can. And just pause for a moment. We can see here that we've gone from the 1st of January up to the 3rd of January. We do have a few trades open at the moment with minus $4.44. A negative $4.44, but we have actually closed $12 already. So it appears to be working quite well, and I would be happy now to put this on a demo account right away and just let it trade. But the thing is, if you're going to test it, you want to sort of test it on a demo account similar in size to what you would actually use on a live trading account. So for me, I would probably put this one on maybe a $500 account or a $1,000 account. Because we know that the drawdown is actually low, we can just put it on there, trade the minimum lot size and let it go for a while. So we can see here now we've gone up to, let's see, the 10th of January. Just pause again for a moment, and we're actually up $36 at the moment. We can fast forward this thing, get it through a little bit quicker, but we know the outcome. I think we made about $500 in total over that time. We can have a look at the history as well in a moment just to see how it actually looks. We can have a look at the winning and the losing trades just to see how good they actually look on there in the history. Okay, so 532 was the total profit. Looking at the history, we can actually see from the magic number which of the strategies actually made the profits and which ones were the biggest losers. Let's have a look. Starting from the beginning, remember the lot size was the smallest possible, 0.01. So if we had have been doing 0.1 instead of 0.01, we would have actually made $5,000 or a 50% gain on the account for this year. So we'll do some more testing in a moment as well for the numbers to see how it goes. But you can see here some of these trades are very small. The losing trades we've got around $10. They're not so bad, but multiple smaller trades in between. Here's a larger win, a $9 win. That makes up a bit for some of the $10 losses. There's a $9 loss and then a $12.50 win. So all of these amounts are quite small, and you could almost do this on a $100 account and not get into any serious drawdown. So let's go back to the back testing and see what would happen if we actually did change the input balance. Let's say we did this with $1,000 and using the same lot size. Look at the actual difference. Now the profit factor should be about the same, but the drawdown will be different. So we've got on here absolute drawdown was 0, so it went straight into profit from the first trade. But the maximum drawdown was 5.29%. So that is about $52 or $53 on a $1,000 account. So that was really not much drawdown at all. Profit factor 1.71. We had 84% wins. The average profit in trade was $3.35. We still had 35 consecutive wins, which was great over that period of time. And yeah, you could actually trade that with a prop firm challenge. Now let's go back to another setting. Assuming we wanted to pass a prop firm challenge, we had a $10,000 account. We would increase the lot size to 0.1, so 10 times greater. Let's have a look at the new performance. Still the same profit factor, which is good. Still 84% win rate. And now, by increasing the size of the account and the actual trade size, we've still got only 5.3 drawdown, but we've actually made a 53% gain over this year. So it's the end of August now, so let's say 8 months, and we would have actually made, if trading on a live $10,000 account, 53%. So let's go back and change the settings again. Let's say we only had a $1,000 account and we traded the same lot size. Starting with $1,000, we would have actually made a net profit of $5,000. So do the numbers yourself. That is what, 500% is it? I'm not sure. And still the same. We've had a drawdown was 21%. But if you had a $1,000 account with a 21% and made this sort of profit, I think you'd be pretty happy with the result. Now, just one more experiment. Let's have a look if you did this with a $100 account. Did it blow the account, or were we able to survive? No, No, it looks like we couldn't do that. Not enough money to trade on that size. So let's see, we could probably do a $500 account. Yes, we could. We could have done this with a $500 account, which would have been a 10 times increase on your account. So starting with 500, made $5,400 profit, 1.73 risk. The drawdown was 24%. Maximum drawdown 24%. So yeah, I think this would be a good portfolio to actually test on a demo account. I will probably set this one up right away on a $500 account for starters, because that would be easier to fund. And yeah, if it does actually make this sort of profit, it'll be worth trading. So that's it for this video. So this actually demonstrates how you can create a portfolio and combine it all into one expert advisor, and then use this one expert advisor as a portfolio. It'll be the same result basically as setting up 5 separate expert advisors and trading each one separately on your chart. And let's see how this one performs on a demo account.